morning, everybody. In 2023, I started working at the factory I currently work at, and before that, I was unemployed for close to a year. And since I started working in March of 2023 till today, what is it, November 2025, I was able to save up $50,000 in assets or investing, really. I'm going to talk to you guys about the steps I took, the things I've learned, and how I made it happen.
Pray that all my brothers make it out the struggle. Don't nobody know your pain and all the troubles. Just keep faith and stay persistent with your hustle. When I get a chance to ball, I'ma fumble. Ayy, I've been out the way tryna run it back, tryna work for everything that I never had. Not too many on my back when I was doing bad. I'm just tryna live better. So
Came out to the lake that I used to come out all the time to. If you guys remember this, then you guys are pretty much OGs. But look, you guys saw some clips of what I do at the factory. I can't show too much or talk too much about it. I don't want to lose that job. But I pretty much work on a production line. I have a set station and it switches every single break. And we rotate around and pretty much just let the part come to us that we're building, or the thing that we're building come to us. We install some components and then the next one comes along. Do the same thing over and over and over again for 12 hours a day. It's not too bad, especially after a while that you've been there. You kind of get used to everything and it all just becomes muscle memory. You get what I mean? Some stations are a little bit harder than others, but overall it is not bad. But let me talk to you guys about how I went from $0 pretty much to my name before I started working at the factory to over $50,000 in assets, man. And assets, I really mean like investments, and that includes taxable accounts and retirement accounts. And it was a long journey, and at the start of it, it really feels like you're making no progress, or that you're not even really heading in the right direction, quote unquote. And the thing, it's really simple really to get to that point, right? Just put money away and over time you will reach it. Simple, right? But the thing that you really have to acknowledge and think about is the mindset, the discipline, and the commitment that goes behind actually accumulating this amount of money. You get what I mean? And right now, I'm on the road to 100K. And I've been posting monthly updates, so check those out if you haven't already. But look, when I first started, I knew I did not want to end up in the situation I was for the longest, man. No money, no commitment to working and improving not only myself, but my situation and my family situation. I knew that I did not want to return to that. And I did not know exactly the path to take. And I wasn't sure if the path that I was going to go on was the right path. You get what I mean? But ultimately, I knew that I needed to save some money and start investing. Investing has always been something that would be on my mind, I should say. It always has been. And I had invested before this, but I wasn't really sure in the direction I was taking it in. And that's one thing that I had to learn and overcome in order to get to the point where I'm at now. So I was always changing my mind on what I was investing. I was going from this type of investing to this type, and by that I mean like I went from dividends to growth to this to that to this to that, and I always ended up selling and losing money, and that was pretty much my investing journey. And then I lost my job and I had to sell everything and pretty much start over. And in 2023, I think it was March, I started at the factory. And the start was pretty slow, man. I remember I had like literally like probably like $150 in my account until that first paycheck hit. I remember getting off of work, checking my account. I was driving, and right before I got onto the highway, the check hit. And I saw the freaking money come in. I put the biggest smile on my face. I was like, let's go. I was freaking hyped, man. I've been without money for so long, and once that I freaking, and it wasn't even that much, boys. It wasn't even that much. It was like $1,600, right? It wasn't that much, because back then I used to be getting paid like what, I think it was $23 an hour. It wasn't much, but it meant so much. And that is really where the spark and the drive came in, man. Feeling that relief and knowing that if I continue down this path, I could really make something out of this. I was so hyped though, and I sped up. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those things. But look, after starting there and getting some paychecks into my account, that's when I really started getting deep into investing and saving. And I would watch multiple different things. And this is one thing I would advise against. And not really advice against, definitely do your research and learn, but stick to something and try to find something that you feel comfortable investing in for the long term, so that you're not jumping from thing to thing like I was. And once I set on a thing that I was really trying to invest for, majority of it afterwards is just the discipline to consistently invest, man, and the discipline to show up to work. It's an optional day, show up. You can work a side hustle on the weekends, do that. You can find a way to make some extra income, do that. It's that discipline to work harder or do the work that other people don't want to be doing. You get what I mean? Besides that, another big thing, dang, I just really had it. Oh yeah, the sacrifices, man. The sacrifices you will have to make, whether it's less time spending with the hobby that you really like to do, less time with your family, a loved one, whatever the case may be, man. There will be sacrifices and you will have to make those. And I'm telling you right now, it really sucks to make those sacrifices, because of course we all want to be laid up with our girlfriend under the covers, all nice and warm, watching a nice little movie with a little hot chocolate. You know what I mean? Of course, man, it's a beautiful thing. We all want to be playing that new game that just came out that we're freaking into deeply. We all want to just be able to not worry about certain things, you know what I mean? But those sacrifices are going to be necessary for you to make in order to get to the point, man. And the sacrifices aren't as simple as time, man, because you will have to sacrifice your time with the things that you love in order to work. But you will also have to sacrifice those vices, whether they be bad vices like alcohol, marijuana, things of that nature, or sacrifices in the sense of not looking or dressing like you want to, by cutting back on spending, especially with clothes, eating out, the hobby again, all these little different things, man. You're gonna have to pay yourself last in a way. You get what I mean? Because all that money that you're really gonna be making is mostly gonna be used for building your accounts or funding a business that you want to take on. And that's really, man, that's really the path, man. That's really the path. It's pretty simple, but the discipline and commitment that it takes from you to achieve that path or go down that path is where it's quote unquote hard for people. Because not everybody wants to make that sacrifice. Not everybody wants to take it so serious. But if you are wanting to change your life and really make something great, you will have to make those sacrifices and you will have to put in that extra work. And for some people, it's not that serious, or, man, you're wasting your life away at this, la 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 la. People will always have something to say. But if you have a dream, you have a goal that you want to reach, you're going to have to do what you got to do to make it happen, man. No matter what anybody says. And this doesn't mean that you're going to have all the answers. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be freaking sunshine and rainbows. You're going to be going through some hard times. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to be sad, man. You're going to be tired. All these little different things. But your eye is on the prize and you see that goal. And that goal will become clearer and clearer the more and more you stay consistent with it. And when you reach a point where it feels surreal, the amount of progress you've made, and I've hit this recently, man, and the surreal feeling you get from taking that step back and seeing what you have built and changed in your life is a beautiful freaking feeling, man. And I want that for every single person watching this. And if you've already felt that in your journey, leave it down below so people can read how that experience was for you, man. Because it's a freaking beautiful and crazy feeling. But it will require sacrifice. And I want to make that clear. And I know there's other little things I could probably be adding onto it, but it's really just as simple as what I've already explained. It just takes time. Then the big next goal that you should be focusing on, that I'm currently focusing on, is to continue to invest and grow those accounts, right? But also focus on finding other sources of income, whether it be a side hustle turn into a business, or straight up starting a whole business, or even just increasing your income at your current job, or finding a job that pays you a little bit more. Those are also very important and necessary steps that you can eventually branch into. And for some of us, it will be easier. For some of us, it will be harder, depending on your area that you live at, your market, your skills, your education, all these little different things. But trust me when I say that if you do some research and you put in some work behind it, you will be able to make some extra income at work. Little example for you guys. I used to work at Carl's Jr. It's a fast food restaurant. Let me know down below, what is your favorite fast food restaurant? Mine, actually, I don't know what mine would be, but honestly, Carl's Jr. is actually pretty good. It's pretty expensive, but it's pretty good. But I used to work there, right? I was making, what, $15 an hour. Then after that, I got an opportunity. My friend was like, hey, man, you should work security, man. All you got to do is go pay this, get your guard card, and you can start making, I think it was almost $22 an hour. So I did that. I bought the little class. I went to class for a day, which was like almost $200, right? I think. I got my guard card, and then I was making like 20 something an hour. And it wasn't nothing too big that I had to invest or too hard to achieve. And then I just pretty much started making a lot more money, man. And that's what I mean. Because people might want to say like, oh man, I don't have skills, I don't have this, Understandable. But you will have to figure out a way. Because we're all in different parts of the world. We all got different circumstances. But the thing is, you're the one living yours. And you got to do what you can to change it. Not only for yourself, but for your family, man. And once you get that, you just got to continue, man. You got to keep going. Continue to invest, continue to grow. And one thing that I really should mention right here at the end is not only focusing on the financial side of things, man. Focus on your physical and mental health. That is also a big part and will help increase all of these things, man. Because you will feel better about yourself. You will look better. And that would just translate over to everything that you're pursuing in life, man. So please focus on that too. I've recently let myself slip up on my physical health at least. And that does take a toll on your mental, of course. But I need to get back in the freaking mindset of working out. And that's something that I will be doing, and I need to start taking way more serious. But this is pretty much the things that I went through and experienced. And there's other things, right? And I will share those as I kind of figure out how to word them and express them the way that I want to. But I went from $0 to my name, feeling like shit, feeling bad about myself and my situation, to put it in the work, making those sacrifices to get over $50,000 in assets. And at one point, I was at the best shape of my life. I let that slip up, but I will get it back. And these things happen, man. You will get knocked off the horse, but it's what you do after that. Take care.